Yes, the Liberal Democrats have long said that Hamas is a genocidal organisation. We've condemned them. And now the UN has come out with an authoritative report. I think we have to say the Netanyahu government is committing genocide in Gaza. And with President Trump, who has the power to stop this, who wants the Nobel Peace Prize, not stopping it, he needs to be called out too.
So to be clear, Gaza is the reason why the main reason why you won't be going to the state banquet tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, I've wrestled this for a long time actually, because I initially said, give Donald Trump the state visit. And I was very keen to go. And given how much I respect His Majesty, the idea of turning down an invitation from King Charles was something I really didn't want to do. But over the summer months, when we've seen what's happened in Gaza, I really feared that he'd come to this country, there'd be pomp and ceremony, there might be some discussion of tariffs, but his duty to act, to stop what's happening in Gaza and to get the hostages released by putting pressure on the Qatari government, that wouldn't be discussed. And I hope that by my action, people are discussing it.
But you might have been discussing it directly with him at the state dinner. Or do you think you wouldn't have got anywhere near him?
I wouldn't have got anywhere near him. I've been to and had the honour to go to many state banquets in recent years, and you don't get a chance to speak to the visiting head of state or indeed their senior entourage.
Do you think the special relationship with America should be ended under Donald Trump? I mean, take a pause.
Well, I think you have to work with whoever's in the White House, even if you disagree with them. But I'm clear, and said it on many occasions, that President Trump is not a reliable ally for our country, whether it's on the economy, on trade, whether on defence and security. But I think we also should have the courage to call him out.
You have 72 MPs. That's many more MPs than Nigel Farage has got. He's got 5. And yet his voice is heard every day on the national stage. Now, you might say that's because the media gives him all the oxygen of publicity and they don't give you the same thing. But he's got a very clear message, loathe it or love it, he's got a clear message. And I wonder whether you, with your 72 MPs, are just not punching at the way you could be punching.
In Parliament, people on the Liberal Democrat benches are getting real change that affects people's lives, whether it's, for example, making sure that our policy of free school meals to every child from a family with universal credit, which wasn't in Labour's manifesto, it was in ours, it's happening. I think what's shaping up in British politics is a contrast between two different parties of change. So I think people no longer trust Labour or the Conservatives, and increasingly the debate will be between Reform, who want to change things, take us to a more Trumpian position, a bit like America, where people have to pay for their health care, where there's fracking in our countryside and all the rest of it, where our party has change, which is more based on traditional British values.
But what he's proposing, Farage, is a kind of visceral change. It's a visceral reaction to what is going on in British politics.
Well, if you look at elections, since the general election, when we got our historic result, best result for 100 years, since then, in the local elections, we actually performed incredibly well. And we got more seats than Labour and the Conservatives in the May local elections. But are you turning that into political currency? Well, I believe we are, and we can do more.
What are the Lib Dems all about? Give me one line.
Health and cost of living. The truth is, if you ask people what affects their family, they want to make sure that they can afford to put food on the table. They've got experience of being a family carer. And I believe if we're going to sort out care in this country to help sort out our NHS, we need to back family carers far better than we do.
Do you think Keir Starmer will still be our Prime Minister come the next election?
Well, if you'd asked me that question a few months ago, I would have said definitely yes.
And now?
I think it's uncertain.
Unlikely, uncertain?
Difficult to say. I'm not in the Labour Party, but I have never seen such unhappiness on the Labour benches.
Farage is the next Prime Minister. I mean, the opinion polls consistently in the last 6 months have him 10 points ahead of both Tories and Labour.
Well, you see, I've been around in politics long enough to know that this is very early days in this Parliament. I'm not complacent. That's why I want to show that if people want real change, but change that's true to British values, they should back the Liberal Democrats.
So, Davey, thanks very much.
Thank you.